Hey, fifth graders, happy Wednesday. If you're watching this on Wednesday or Thursday, I guess if you're watching it Thursday. Um, Welcome to, again, week 4 of distance learning. This is the second video. I will post an optional video on Friday morning. That's just kind of more for fun. It usually has things to do with things I see in my prairie or kind of some relevant things we're talking about. Like last week was all about a dog that is able to sniff out invasive species. So definitely worth a listen, especially if you're into dogs, which who doesn't love dogs? Um, Anyways, so we are talking a bit about our ecosystem this week and a focus on Earth Day because today is Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, everyone. If you are watching this on Wednesday, it is April 22nd, which makes it Earth Day for this year, our 50-year anniversary of acknowledging the planet and making sure that we are doing our best to keep it great. So we are going to dive into some announcements and things first. So let me turn on display capture, and here we are. So we left off last week when I was describing your activities for the week. So hopefully you are working your way through that Earth Day web quest. I tried to make the questions as straightforward as possible, and they do go in order. So make sure that you just go to the website, read through it. You can even kind of look for those keywords as you find them and as you need them. And you should just be able to type right in that document that's attached and turn it in. So hopefully that's really easy. If you're not sure about how to do that, make sure that you watch the video I post that tells you how to turn things in on my Google Classroom page. I do also hope that since that is your only required assignment for this week, that you do get a chance to try the Earth Day invention. I know that this is asking kind of a tough question, asking you to, hey, solve the world's problems, right? Figure out an invention that can help our planet. So I am making it optional, but it is strongly encouraged, especially if you're bored around the house looking for something to do. You guys are so creative, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys come up with. This, again, is something we would do in class normally. Same with the optional videos for the week. So those are in like the lower part of the checklist or on the lower part of my distance learning page. But they are really encouraged. They are things we would normally do in class. They might also help you. I would hope that they would help you understand the material better. So they are supplemental. So they do go over topics in a different way, and they bring some nice visualizations to things. So please watch those videos when you get a second. I understand sometimes technology is a little difficult, but they're all YouTube links, so they should be pretty easy to pull up on any device. So this week, I just want to give you some reminders. Be working on your web quest. Turn it in when you're done. Try the Earth Day invention when you're done with that. Both are done right in Google Classroom assignments, and then turn them in. Please ask questions on office hours. Like I stated on my last video, we are seeing a lot of wonderful faces, but we'd like to keep seeing new faces in there as well. um, Making sure that you do some high quality answers and that you're following the directions. A lot of the feedback I've been giving has just been, well, you didn't include this and this was part of the directions. For instance, labeling your organisms on the food web assignment. Most people, not most, but a lot of people did not do that direction that was very clearly stated within the directions. Each organism needs to be labeled. So make sure you follow those directions or else you will not get that full credit. So please make sure you do that. Like I said, the optional videos are very helpful. They're ones that we would watch in class typically. So making sure that you take a peek at those. I do always try to make them fun and engaging and not dull. So that's it. Now, we kind of left off with a lot of doom and gloom. So you might be thinking, well, what can I do to help? What can I do to help our planet, to help celebrate this Earth Day? One of the first things that often comes to mind is the reduce, reuse, and recycle. Now, a lot of people think this just means recycling, but notice that that's the third word in this. The first word is reduce, meaning we want to reduce how much we use in the first place. Plastic bottles take over 450 years to break down. That's a really long time. So using a reusable water bottle, one of those hydro flasks that are so hip, are really a good way to do that. Plastic takes forever to break down. Using reusable bags versus plastic bags. This is a really big one recently, too. There are some cities that have even banned the use of plastic bags in their stores, where you have to bring a reusable bag. Otherwise, you are going to be buying a reusable bag at the checkout or carrying your things out. I think that this is a really good movement, as there are over 1 million plastic bags that are used per minute per minute worldwide. So that is a stat from all around the world, but that is a crazy number, 1 million plastic bags per minute. So making this switch is great. You can even make your own plastic bag, or I'm sorry, make your own reusable bag out of an old t-shirt. So I think that there are some YouTube tutorials on how to do that. That'd be a fun art project over this break. So there are some things that are better when you do need to recycle them than others. For instance, glass is a great thing to recycle. It can be recycled endlessly without losing any quality, meaning you can use it, recycle it over and over and over again, and it doesn't degrade at all. It doesn't get any worse. Whereas plastic is not super easy to recycle. It usually does not maintain its integrity, meaning it doesn't stay structurally good after being recycled a few times. So it's not as good to use plastic as glass would be a lot better to use. So if you're thinking about reducing first, then reusing if you can, and then recycling. So recycling is kind of the third option with that. You can plant trees. There are 15 billion trees cut down each year, and this is for a variety of things. Sometimes it's to clear land for farming, sometimes it's to use for paper. So going to this digital learning format, I guess, is a good move in that case. We're using a lot less paper. And things like toilet paper. All of our toilet paper in the United States actually comes from these Canadian old growth forests, meaning trees that have been around for hundreds of years just to make toilet paper. So make sure that you use it sparingly. Each minute, a forest the size of 20 football fields is cut down. Now, this creates a ton of habitat loss, meaning animals that live in that area and make that their home, they no longer have a place to be. It also affects our climate, right? Because we know that trees absorb carbon dioxide and they release oxygen. And so when these are taken away, when they're cut down, we no longer have those trees to help out reduce our carbon dioxide output. So by planting trees, we can reduce the amount of carbon, and we can also reduce and prevent habitat loss for those creatures that live there. You can turn off the lights and limit your electricity usage. This is a nice, easy one that you can do at home. Electricity doesn't just happen, it has to be produced somehow. And it often comes from fossil fuels that add to climate change. So this was something that we talked about on Monday's video, was that sometimes we have these fossil fuels, oil, coal, and natural gas, that when they are used, their byproduct, or they give off this carbon dioxide. And so this adds to that climate change. So when we are using electricity, sometimes it comes from fossil fuels. So making sure that we want to conserve all of our electrical energy that we can. This means limiting TV and video game time. This means turning off the lights when you're not in the room or during daylight time. Like I'm sitting right now in my office and just windows or curtains are open so that the sunlight can stream through, so I don't have to have the lights on. Even little things like unplugging your cell phone charger when you're not using it. Because even though it's plugged into the wall, but your phone's not plugged in, it still is using a little bit of energy. So not only is this good for our planet, but it is also good for your parents' bank account. Electricity is not free, so it does come with a cost. That was something my dad always used to yell at me about, was having the lights on when we're not in the room. So I still find that an old habit, because I hear his voice in my head yelling at me. But it is good for the environment as well. Another thing that is nice and easy to do at home is to limit your water usage. Drinkable water is a limited resource. So our planet is full of water, right? We have all of our oceans and lakes and rivers and streams and rain, but less than 1% of the water on Earth is drinkable and clean. A lot of it is salt water, meaning we can't drink it because it would dehydrate us. And a lot of the fresh water is actually locked up in glaciers and in ice caps. And so there's not a lot of available drinking water. And I know that this is kind of hard for us to picture, because here in Minnesota, we are very lucky with all of the lakes around us. And so we have a hard time seeing this problem. But if you're ever out in California, there are droughts that happen where they limit the city's water usage. So doing little things can help, like turning off your faucet when you're brushing your teeth. This can save 8 gallons of water per day. You can take shorter showers. Don't worry, please still get clean. Please still scrub under your nails and all that kind of stuff. Please be hygienic, but you can turn off the water like in between. So you like rinse off and then you can shut off the water while you shampoo your hair, and then you can rinse the shampoo out and then turn off the water and put in your conditioner, so on and so forth. So doing little things to turn off the water. If you have a lawn, make sure that you're not overwatering your lawn. Most people in the United States actually overwater their lawns, and so using less water on your lawn is also a nice way to save water. Lastly, offer your time and spread the word. So, volunteering to make a difference is awesome. You don't need to have money to make a change, right? All you need is a voice and a platform. Make sure that you share what you have learned with others. These small changes can make a big difference. And so, last thing of note is there are so many beautiful places in Minnesota that people are taking advantage of right now by being outside and going on hikes. And places like in this picture here are in the Boundary Waters. Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness is up in northern Minnesota, and it is a beautiful, pristine area that you can drink the water straight out of the lake. It is so clean and wonderful and quiet. And I was up there last summer and I saw a moose, a mama moose with a baby moose. Don't worry, from a safe distance, but it's just a remarkable place to go camping and canoeing. They don't allow motorized boats on a lot of these lakes, and so it's just canoes, and you are just out in the wilderness, and it's wonderful. But these places are in jeopardy. They are in trouble because of things like mining. People want to mine for different minerals and things that are located near the boundary waters. And so these places are kind of in jeopardy. So even if it's as little as, donating to your favorite place, like sometimes I make a donation to the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness because I really enjoy going there. Or even if it's just volunteering, going and cleaning up trash, you can make a difference. You really can. So please make sure that you continue to do that and you continue to look for the good. We often talk about that here because times are tough right now. It is. Sometimes it's hard to see the good, but we need to make sure that we are continuing to be the good sometimes and continuing to look for others doing good because that always inspires me. So that's why last week I asked you in your attendance question, hey, what good things are you doing? Because sometimes I need a little pick me up too. So it was really fun to read those. And I'm looking forward to hearing what good things that you are doing in your wherever you are at your house and your home. How are you making a difference? How are you helping out our environment? So I love hearing from you. So please let me know. Again, please reach out with any questions you have. Continue to make a difference. You can do it. It always starts with someone. And let that someone be you. See ya.